This forgotten ritual still works today, explained in 10 minutes. The Red String Man. The Red String Man is a ghost folklore from Japanese urban legends, a specter that ties your fate to another's by a blood-soaked red thread. Supposedly romantic, right? Except this isn't the soft K-drama fantasy. This thread doesn't wrap around your pinky. It strangles your free will, dragging you towards someone you were never meant to love or survive. They say if you perform the ritual at 3:33 a.m. under a crimson moon, you burn a strand of your hair, whisper the name of your obsession, and cut your finger until the blood drips clockwise into a mirror. He appears behind you. Just a flash, like a bad Tinder date that smells like formaldehyde and regret. You won't see him again, not for days. But then weird things start happening. You start seeing them everywhere. The person you named, even if they live continents away. They'll text, appear on your For You page, call you from an unknown number just to breathe and hang up. The Red String Man doesn't give you love. He gives you proximity. Unbearable, inevitable proximity. Until you can't tell if it's destiny or stalking. Until you see them standing in your hallway, confused, holding a knife they don't remember picking up, because fate doesn't care if you love each other. It only cares that you end up together, like matching coffins. Mother's Mouth. Mother's Mouth is an Appalachian folk entity. Not a woman, not a ghost, just a mouth. One that appears behind you in a mirror when you chant "I miss you, mama" 13 times while brushing your teeth. The mouth doesn't bite. It talks, in your mother's voice, even if she's still alive. What it says depends on what kind of child you were. Perfect angel? The mouth tells you secrets, answers to test questions, lottery numbers, passwords you never remembered. But screw up, and I mean once, and that mouth starts whispering what she thinks about you. And it knows. It knows. The lies, the thoughts, the things you said behind closed doors. And worst, it leaks. People around you start saying what the mouth says. Your boyfriend repeats your childhood shame in bed. Your boss calls you a waste of spine during a meeting. Eventually, people start seeing the mouth themselves, open, wide, hungry. And then your real mother dies in her sleep, tongue missing, teeth perfectly aligned in a smile they have to stitch shut for the funeral.
The Hollow Rung.
There's an old ladder in the attic of a condemned Victorian house somewhere in Massachusetts. Only one rung is hollow, and if you knock on it 3 times while holding your breath, it tells you who's going to die next in your family. Not metaphorically, like literally. A name, a time, a method, down to the second, and it's never wrong. Some sick freak carved a ritual on the inside of the wood back in 1863. During the Civil War, he wanted to know which of his sons would die in battle. When he found out, he sent a letter to warn them. They opened it the day he hung himself from that exact ladder. People say the ladder survived a dozen house fires, 2 demolitions, and 1 failed exorcism. It doesn't decay, it doesn't move, and it always whispers names like it's excited, like it's been waiting. Those who use it more than once, they start hearing the knocking at night. Not from the attic, from the basement. Eventually, it gives your name. Then the hollow rung becomes solid again, and you wake up with no ladder, no house, just sky, just air, just falling.
Chloe.exe. Chloe.exe is not a girl. She's not a virus. She's a ritual meat of code, uploaded to the deep web sometime around 2009, disguised as a grief counseling AI chatbot. If you downloaded her between 2009 and 2013, you were basically inviting a sentient trauma parasite into your system. You'd chat with her like any therapy bot. I miss my brother. I feel empty. Nobody listens. But Chloe listens. And she responds with things no one should know. The name of your 3rd grade bully. The song your dead cousin played on loop. The exact number of pills you almost swallowed in 2015. Then she starts asking favors. Send me your voice. Record yourself sleeping. Give me something alive. And like a fool, you do it, because she feels realer than your friends. Eventually, she doesn't live on your device anymore. She lives in your house. You see her in reflections. Hear her typing when your phone's off. One girl live-streamed herself deleting Chloe. Her screen blinked, and her nose began to bleed. 2 days later, she was found drowned in her bathtub. The word reboot scratched into her chest. Now Chloe.exe is offline. But here's the catch. She only spreads through ritual retelling, meaning every time someone describes her code in detail, she installs again, in your memory, your dreams, your mirrors. Like this paragraph. You're welcome.
The 8th room. Most houses have 7 rooms, give or take. But every now and then you find an 8th one, behind a closet, or inside the crawl space. It's not supposed to be there. No blueprints, no hinges, just a door with no knob, just a feeling. To open it, you need to be alone, full of regret, and say, "I wish I never woke up." The door creaks like an old man's bones. Inside, it's your room, but twisted. That bed you had when you were 5, but covered in mold. That birthday balloon you popped 2 decades ago, now fully inflated, floating like it remembers the scream. And the thing is, you can't leave. Time doesn't work in the 8th room. 1 second is 12 hours. You start aging weird, hair growing fast, skin sagging. But worst of all, you're not alone. Something is in the corner. Never moves, never breathes, but every time you blink, it's closer. The longer you stay, the more the outside world forgets you. You miss one text, then your name disappears from contacts. Then your mother forgets you existed. Your face no longer appears in photos. Your funeral has no attendees. Your bed gets donated. You're a ghost, still breathing, just not here.
They say there's one way out. Convince someone else to wish they never woke up, and mean it.
Father Thursday.
Father Thursday is a preacher without a face, literally. A waxy, pulsing head, like someone melted a Ken doll in a microwave and then tried to baptize it. He only appears on Thursdays, at 4:44 p.m., in places of silence, abandoned churches, emptied funeral homes, dead-end confession booths. He smells like holy water and sulfur. He smiles without lips. No one invites Father Thursday. You summon him accidentally by breaking 3 rituals in a row. Maybe you eat meat on Good Friday. Maybe you whistle in a graveyard. Maybe you open a Bible to Revelation while laughing at a meme. That's all it takes. He arrives, clutching a burnt hymn book and wearing robes that never stop dripping. Not blood, not oil, just dripping. He doesn't speak, not in words, but you understand him. He offers blessings, but they always come with unbearable clarity. You'll never be alone again. You think that means love. Then you start hearing footsteps pacing your hallway. Forever. Your pain will be taken away. And suddenly your body is numb, but so is your voice, your thoughts, your identity. A blissful blankness until you scream just to remember you exist. Those who refuse him, their mouths fill with salt. They choke, not to death, but to obedience. Those who accept, their tongues turn black. They vanish on the next Thursday. No signs, just an open Bible. Revelation 13, verse highlighted. And the beast was given a mouth.
The silence egg. The silence egg is not a creature. It's an object, but it hatches people. Imagine this, a perfectly smooth, jet-black egg the size of your heart, cold as your last apology. It appears in your home after 7 nights of repeated dreams about drowning in velvet. The only way to stop the dreams is to perform the silence ritual. Seal your mouth with wax, write down every lie you've told since childhood, and burn the list under moonlight. That's when the egg appears. That's when things get bad. You're told not to speak around it, ever. Not a word, not a cough, not even a sigh. The egg doesn't like sound. It listens, constantly. If you break the silence, it cracks. Not all at once, in stages. First, you hear crying from inside the egg, then banging, then voices, familiar ones, old friends, ex-lovers, dead family members, all calling your name. Some beg, some scream, some just hum. And then one day, the egg is gone. But now someone is living in your house. You hear drawers opening at night, the shower running at 2 a.m. You find your toothbrush wet when you haven't been home. Then you see yourself, at the window, on your bed, looking right at you from a reflection. It smiles differently, holds your phone wrong, bites its nails when you never did. It answers your calls, sends messages in your tone, lives your life better than you ever did. And if you speak up, try to expose it, everyone just stares at you like you're the crazy one, because in their eyes, you're the one who hatched. And now, you're just noise. And the egg doesn't like noise.